bleeding purple and gold. From the heart of Los Angeles, this is the LakersNation.com podcast with your host, Trevor Lane.
Welcome to the Lakers Nation podcast. My name is Trevor Lane, and we are powered by CLNS Media. Today's show is brought to you by ZipRecruiter. Go to ziprecruiter.com/Lakers for all your hiring needs. Now, we are about a week away from the NBA draft, and so today we're bringing in LaVar Ball to talk a bit about his son Lonzo, who he really hopes is going to be selected second overall by the Los Angeles Lakers. We're going to talk a bit about Lonzo's strengths. We're going to talk a little bit about what he can bring to the Lakers, and also why they decided not to work out for those pesky Boston Celtics. Now, I also am going to bring in Lakers Nation's Ryan Ward for the second half of the show. He was at a bunch of the Lakers pre-draft workouts with guys like De'Aaron Fox, Lonzo Ball, and Markelle Fultz. So we'll get his take on some of those prospects that he's gotten to see up close. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to this show on iTunes. Got a lot to talk about today, so let's jump right into things with our first segment with LaVar Ball. Today I've got a special guest, LaVar Ball. LaVar, thank you so much for taking time to come on our show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So Lonzo is doing a second workout with the Los Angeles Lakers. What is he hoping to show in that workout?
He's going to show the same things he always can do, which is how strong he is, how conditioned he is, and just what type of person he is, and his work ethic. That's all. Now,
I saw that that's not actually going to be held at the Lakers practice facility. Is there a reason for that?
No, there's not a reason for that. He's going to do what we do. That's all.
Okay. Now, a few weeks ago, you mentioned that Lonzo would not be working out for any team other than the Lakers.
Right.
Is that still the case?
That's still the case.
So I gotta ask you this, because we've seen this great program on ESPN on the Lakers versus the Celtics and this huge rivalry, and you are a Lakers fan. So did the Lakers-Celtics rivalry play any kind of a factor in the decision to not have Lonzo work out for the Boston Celtics?
Not really. That was back in my era. I was a Laker fan. We didn't like the Celtics. But that ain't got nothing to do with Lonzo.
But it had to feel good to not send him to go work out for the Celtics, huh?
For me, it felt great. Personally, yes.
So we know that we've been hearing the rumors are that Lonzo's in tight competition with Josh Jackson right now for the Lakers pick, as well as perhaps Markelle Fultz. What is that sets Lonzo apart from those guys?
What sets Lonzo apart from those guys is he makes everybody else around him better, and he's a true leader. That's different. If you watch them, like Kansas, whoever played, they wasn't really the true leaders. They was the guy, but they wasn't the leaders. There's a difference.
Well, now speaking of being a leader, Lonzo recently said after his first Lakers workout, he said that what he brings is leadership, and also that the Lakers need a point guard. And that raised some eyebrows, because those are two things that D'Angelo Russell was supposed to bring. So do you see D'Angelo
what somebody
Russell...
is supposed to do? What somebody is supposed to do and what somebody does is two different things, too. My son is telling you his skill set, what he brings to the table. If you want him to do that, bring him in. If you don't, get somebody else.
Do you see him and D'Angelo Russell being able to play together?
Lonzo could play with anybody.
So you think they'd be a good pairing then?
I think anybody who pairs with Lonzo will be a good pair.
So one of the things that I've really been noticing, and that's a great point, that Lonzo really can play with anybody, and it's that kind of flexibility that's gonna really help him out in the NBA. One of the things that really strikes me from studying Lonzo is how much he loves passing the ball, and you don't see many kids coming up today who enjoy passing the ball as much as he does. Where does that come from?
He's always been like that since he's been little. I told him, if you're going to play the point guard spot, you got to get everybody involved. You can't just try to go for 50 and hope somebody make a shot every now and then. So he's been playing that style ever since he's been born. And like I said, you don't make leaders, they born. That boy ain't never seen the back of nobody. He always been in front.
So that was something that you encouraged him to do very early on then, right?
Oh, yes. I just told him, and he took it from there.
So One of the things that we always see out of draft prospects is that sometimes in college they don't get to show their entire repertoire. They've got other skills that we don't see in the college level, even though at UCLA it seemed like the system was really set up for Lonzo. What is it that
Right.
Lonzo has that he's really good at that maybe we didn't get to see at the college level?
Lonzo's really good at catching lobs, going back door. But if people don't see that pass there, how can you throw it? You can throw it every now and then. He plays even faster. It's just like this, man. Your Russell Westbrooks, your Derrick Roses, it wasn't all that in college. When you see them, everybody come to that game, to the NBA, it's faster and more physical, and people think quicker. That's better for my son. That's his game, playing as fast as possible.
Right. He does seem to like to really speed things up out there on the floor.
He loves to speed the thing up, and then he got more game time to play. So that's why I was telling people we should be better. Instead of playing 40 minutes, you play 48 now. And you play with the best athletes in the world. And you even play at a faster pace. Instead of 30-something shot clock, you got a 24. It's going to be beautiful for him. He's going to love it.
So it's all about getting more possessions, right?
More possessions. That's my name of the game. You can damn near beat anybody if you get 200 possessions and the other team get 100.
That's right. I suppose that is true. We've seen teams that have sped up the game, and it's revolutionized the way that basketball is being played right now. And you've even made comments recently about you want to get not just Lonzo, but you want all three of your sons to be together on the Lakers, and that it's going to lead to championships. Now, it's hard getting
that would lead to championships very easy.
Go ahead.
I said that would lead to championships very easy. You see what they did in high school just 1 year together. Now imagine them three together as grown men playing on the highest level. Don't think they ain't going to get better each time they play.
Do you have a plan for accomplishing that, for getting all three of them onto the Lakers?
The way I'm going to start it off is, like I said, all of them be one and done. And then the second thing, bring them all in as free agents. With the skill level, they'd be awesome. It'd be awesome on the fact that they would stick together and none of them would have an ego on who's going to take the most shots, who's going to do this, who's going to do that. All they're going to do is win. And like I said, there's a way to do it if you bring them in as free agents. You get them for nothing.
Right. So hopefully that's something that can actually happen, because that would be really cool.
That could happen if they want to make it happen. That's why I'm planting this seed now. Do what you got to do to make this happen. And I guarantee you're going to win some championships. So, like I said, all three of my boys together with their will to win, they're not playing just to be saying, okay, we three brothers, we're on the same team. They're trying to get as many championships as possible. And if they all can work together, who can do that? And they all three in different positions, the 1, 2, and 3, oh, man, they ready to go.
That would be really fun to see. I think that would be it would be.
I guarantee it'd be fun to see. You already see what we did with the high school level, and that's when they were just babies.
Right.
Now, when they perfect their art like they're doing, and they just constantly, this is what you do, getting paid for this, and they all together, I don't think nobody can stop them.
So, LaVar, I have to ask you, because this comes up a lot. There are a lot of people who say that with you having such a strong personality off the court, that it could lead to distractions with particularly with the Lakers. How can you guarantee the Lakers that
if what I'm doing on the outside distracts them, they don't need to pick my boy anyway. If you're worried about what I'm doing on the outside instead of what's going on the court, it ain't lined up for you. Like I said, if you're going to worry about what I'm doing as opposed to my boy winning games for you and playing and y'all coaching them, what you worried about me for? Stay in your lane.
You don't think that would be an issue?
I know it would. How's it going to be an issue? It's just the reporters and everybody trying to create it to make it an issue. You didn't hear me saying nothing at the UCLA or doing nothing. My boy went out there and played, and that's what he does. But I have my own opinion about things when people ask me questions, and I answer the way I want to. Don't think I'm going to answer it in a humble way, because I'm not like that. I'm going to give you straight truth what's going on in my head. If you don't want to know that, don't ask me that.
Well, certainly your approach has, up to this point, it's worked. I mean, you can't argue with that. And Lonzo has been tremendous all the way through his high school career, and
right. All my boys are good and respectful. Like I said, I raised them the way I raised them. And if people don't agree with it, that's okay. Have your own kids and make them do their thing.
And we've got Father's Day coming up, and we just had that great Foot Locker commercial that Lonzo was part of, and everybody is talking about this. And Lonzo had some very interesting comments in it. Did you know ahead of time about that commercial and kind of what Lonzo was going to say in it?
I don't care what he says. It's all true. It's all true.
Well, but
what's wrong with the truth?
He came across.
Hey, here it is. Here it is. I don't have to know what they're saying before that. I know what Lonzo's about. He knows what I'm about. We good.
So you liked the commercial, right?
I like the commercial. I like it. I like the commercial. I thought it was real. Y'all thought it was funny. So we have two opinions on it, so we both good.
I just thought that it showed that he can kind of poke fun.
Well, hey, what'd you think? What'd you think of the commercial?
Oh, I thought it was great. I thought his delivery was tremendous.
Yes, because he's so educated. He's so media savvy. Boy, do his thing in 1 or 2 takes because it's true. You can't do that in 1 or 2 takes if you got to fake some stuff. Because you're going to forget what you lied about.
It was very, very good the way he delivered it and everything, and it was. I think that it goes a long way to show how real he is about the whole situation. So yeah, I thought it was a great commercial, and I'm glad that you were in on it. You knew all about it and everything, and you may not have found it funny, but
hey, it's funny because it's truthful. That's why too. Because I'm like, man, I wouldn't don't say nothing that you don't think is real, son. I did all that, and happy Father's Day.
Exactly right.
Hey, I don't want to cut you off, but I got another engagement I got to head to, man. So I'll give you another question, and then I got to head out of here.
Okay, so last question here for you, and again, we certainly appreciate your time. If you were the general manager of the Los Angeles Lakers after drafting Lonzo, what would your focus be?
Winning.
Period. Just winning. You wouldn't target specific
just
players
winning.
To play with Lonzo.
Just winning. Just winning. Because once you create that culture of winning and everybody does their job, you got a good enough team. It's not about just the names of the guys. It's like who's going to do the job, who's going to do the rebounding, who's going to do the scoring, who's going to do the screening, who's going to do the scrappiness. It all goes into one thing and goes as a team. So if they can't do it as a team, you can put guys together and win.
Fair enough. Well, LaVar, again, we thank you so much for your time. Appreciate you coming on the show, and we'll have to have you on again after Lonzo is a Laker on next Thursday, right?
All right. That's what I like to hear, positiveness.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, speak it into existence. Man, I appreciate it, and take care of yourself.
Hey, you too. Thank you very much.
All right.
We're going to take a short break to talk about finding talent. Now, in basketball, it's extremely important that teams are able to find talented players. If you can find a diamond in the rough somewhere, that can make all the difference in your franchise. And in business, it's the exact same way. You can't find all the best candidates for your job by posting on just one site. You need to post to all the top job sites. And now you can do that with ZipRecruiter. At ZipRecruiter.com, you can post your job to 100 plus job sites with just one click. That's it, one click. Then their powerful technology efficiently matches the right people to your position. That's why ZipRecruiter is so different. Unlike other job sites, ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you, it finds them. In fact, over 80% of jobs posted on ZipRecruiter get a qualified candidate in just 24 hours. There's no juggling emails or calls to your office. Just screen, rate, and manage candidates all in one place with ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use dashboard. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by businesses of all sizes nationwide. And right now, my listeners can start forming their own winning team on ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/Lakers. That's ZipRecruiter.com/Lakers. Try it for free today. Again, go to ZipRecruiter.com/Lakers. So that was some great stuff from LaVar Ball. Now what I'm doing is I'm bringing in Lakers Nation senior editor Ryan Ward to help tell us a little bit about what he's seen at Lakers workouts with a few of the top prospects. Ryan, thanks so much for coming on.
No problem, Trev.
So actually, before we even dive into anything, I got to give credit where credit is due here. Brian, you did almost all of the legwork to get LaVar Ball on our show. We got a fantastic segment out of it. Thank you so much.
No problem, man. No problem.
So you've had the good fortune to go to the Lakers workouts with a number of guys, with De'Aaron Fox, with Lonzo Ball, and now with Markelle Fultz. Is that right?
Yeah.
So what was it that stood out to you? I know you guys didn't get to see a whole lot of the actual workouts themselves, but what did you notice from getting to talk to them afterwards?
Well, we didn't get to see any of the workout, actually. It was just the minute that it was done, like all the on-court work, they opened the door and let us in to talk to them in a media scrum, all those guys. I missed Josh Jackson's, actually, because I went to E3 down the street right after De'Aaron Fox, and Josh Jackson was kind of like spur of the moment thing. They're like, "Oh, by the way, Josh Jackson's coming in at 3," and it was like 12, and we're like, "Oh, that came out of nowhere." But
right. So you had all three of those guys.
Yeah, all three of them. Yeah, I think every single one of them's uniquely different. I mean, I think young players today are really quiet for the most part. There's no real strong personalities that kind of dominate conversations or stick out. But they were uniquely different. These three, I would say, Lonzo Ball is just pure confidence. The kid is probably the most confident young player I've ever seen, like in terms of talking to the media, especially without playing a minute in the NBA. It's like he'd already been through, the whole ordeal. I guess maybe being at UCLA, he was kind of used to that kind of media scrum and the attention and all that, but I was really surprised by that, and I was impressed by it. But then you got De'Aaron Fox, who also impressed me because he's got a presence about him. He's not overly, he doesn't have this really distinct personality, but like he had a kind of confidence, but I could see this kid being like a vocal leader, like somebody, that could rally the troops around, be that guy that the Lakers have been missing for years, without Kobe, of course. But, and then Fultz was extremely quiet. I mean, so quiet to the point where I couldn't even hear him, and I'm like 5 feet from him.
Oh.
I was like, oh, man. It was really difficult to hear what he was saying.
Kind of like Brandon Ingram could be like that.
Yeah, I mean, that was the first comparison that came to mind to me. I was like, yeah, same thing. You're 5 feet from him, and you can't hear him. If there isn't a microphone like right next to his mouth, you wouldn't be able to pick up anything. But yeah, you're quiet. I mean, there's quiet confidence too. I mean, you could kind of say that about Lonzo Ball too, but he's a bit more, vocal than Fultz.
I noticed that most from the videos on LakersNation.com that were put up by Serena Winters, from watching those, that Lonzo, all of his answers were just very short and to the point. And was that something that struck you as well when you were there?
Yeah, kind of like he'd been coached a bit, or maybe he was just used to being interviewed and the same kind of questions being asked over and over again. Yeah, I got that sense from him. So
from being around those guys, obviously the big question is how they're going to fit in with this Lakers team with a guy like, with D'Angelo Russell and Brandon Ingram and Julius Randle. I know it was only a few minutes, but did you get any sense of just kind of personality-wise, any one that kind of stood out as you thought, oh man, that guy would be a perfect addition to the Lakers?
I kind of feel Fox would be, to be honest, because he's the one guy that I saw out of the three that you don't currently already see on the team. You know what I mean? Like in terms of the way he was talking and like I said, the presence about him. He has that presence. He has that kind of like if he got to the next level and he's actually, a great player, he could earn that respect of his teammates really fast. And I think it would be different with Lonzo. It might be more of like by example leadership, maybe like kind of like a D'Angelo. So I don't know, Fox. I don't know. I came away from the Fox workout being like, wow, okay, I see why this kid might go, high in the draft.
Yeah, it's kind of a good problem to have, right? I mean, the Lakers have all these different prospects. I mean, you've got not just Fox and Fultz and Ball, but you also have Jackson, who unfortunately you didn't get to see. But you've got all these guys who really, any of them could be a solid second overall pick, right?
Yeah, for sure. It'd be easy to say they can't go wrong, but at the same time, I mean, they could easily go wrong. I mean, they could pick Ball and he could be a bust, or he just doesn't live up to it, or the same goes for Fox. I mean, who knows? But if they picked any one of those three, or even if Fultz somehow fell, if there's a trade or something, I think they'd be okay. But yeah, I am intrigued with Fox though. I thought he brought a kind of different dynamic that we haven't seen from a player the team has drafted in the last few years.
So let's talk about the media scrum when you were there, because from all the reports that I've seen the amount of people there for the Lonzo Ball workout was just incredible. There were reporters from all different kinds of outlets that were there. And did you notice that there were a lot less people there for Fox and for Fultz, or was it at least comparable to what we saw with Ball?
I think the Ball thing got a little bit overblown. I don't think there was as much media as people made it out to be. I think you could probably subtract, I don't know, 5 to 8 people in comparison to the other two that I went to. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't say it was like crazy, you know what I mean? It wasn't like insane. But yeah, you definitely saw a smaller crowd for both Fox. I'd say probably exactly the same for Fox and Fultz. I expected a little bit more at Fultz, just for the fact that he's projected number one and all that. But I mean, it wasn't a huge scrum like people were making it out like some big show. So yeah.
So maybe that was a little bit overstated there. Now, it does kind of speak to, the fact that Ball had a lot of people there for him, does kind of speak to this marketing machine that the Ball family has created, including LaVar. It really is fascinating to see what they've done. I mean, I looked on Twitter, and as amazing as it is, like, LaVar Ball hasn't been on Twitter all that long. Like, he just recently signed up, and he has, I want to say he has double the amount of Twitter followers that Markelle Fultz has. And Markelle Fultz is projected to be the number one pick in the draft. So pretty incredible stuff with that. Do you have any thoughts to how that would play out in LA, having this whole big baller brand persona and all that stuff going on along with the Lakers?
I think it could go drastically one way or the other. It could be great. He could be like the next, superstar, his face on the billboards everywhere in LA. Or it could go terribly wrong. It could be the complete opposite. People could hate him in 6 months. Who knows? That's the thing with this franchise. It's like it's either there's little. It never seems to be in the middle. It's always drastically one way or drastically the other. It's great or it's awful. So let's just hope for the best. But I mean, you just never know. I mean, LaVar says crazy stuff. Personally, I think LaVar is somewhat of a genius. I think and he would probably tell you that too, right?
Right.
But he's just kind of figured out how it works in today's, how to market an athlete today. You say outrageous things and you get it everywhere. You're plastered all over the place every day. There's always a headline from him every day. But like I said, that could easily backfire in 6 months if he does end up with the Lakers or somewhere else. I mean, if somehow, some way, the Lakers decide taking somebody else, I mean, what does he do now? What does he do after that? I mean, who knows?
Yeah, I think that would be an interesting situation. Especially, we know that Lonzo Ball has been invited to the actual draft itself. He'll be there, of course, to go up on stage. But the cameras are going to be trained on LaVar should the Lakers pass on Lonzo. It's going to be an interesting situation because they've really pushed to wind up with the Lakers. I mean, LaVar confirmed with me on our previous segment that they are not working out for anyone else, period. They are only working out for the Lakers. So if this doesn't go their way, it's going to be interesting to see the fallout from that. Now, Ryan.
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
I got to put you on the spot a little bit here. So let's say you were in Magic Johnson's shoes, and you've got that second overall pick, and you've gotten some time up close and personal with these guys. Obviously not what the Lakers have gotten, but still, you've had an opportunity to kind of be around these guys, talk to them a little bit. You've been studying their film, their highlight reels, all that kind of stuff. If it was on you to make that second overall pick, assuming that Fultz is off the board, who are you going with?
Malik Monk. Boom!
Malik Monk's the guy. Okay.
No, that's tough, man. I really don't know. I was kind of all in on Ball until Fox came around, and I started thinking about it, and I started looking at some of his tape and the way he talked and everything, and I'm like, this kid might be better for the team right now. But I guess you just got to go safe. You got to go Ball. But I would say it would be interesting if the Lakers could flip that pick, possibly with like Sacramento, get 5 and 10, and then maybe you could get a Fox and like a Malik Monk, and get that kind of combo together. I think that's definitely something you got to consider if you're not sold on these guys. But I mean, you got no idea what these guys are thinking right now. There's so many smoke screens and all the speculation that won't end until draft day. I guarantee it. I don't think we're going to hear like, oh, for sure they're going to pick this guy. We won't know until Adam Silver's announcing the second pick. Kind of like with D'Angelo. I think it's going to be the same thing.
Right. It's definitely an interesting thing to see because it's kind of cool. I kind of like that we don't really know who the pick is going to be. It seemed like, a few weeks ago when the lottery came out, everybody just went, oh, that's it. Lonzo Ball to the Lakers, done deal. That's how it's all going to go. And now, over the last few weeks, all these rumors that we've heard have kind of thrown everything into question. And it's wonderful because I don't think anyone really should know leading into the draft. I don't think anybody should know who the Lakers are going to take. I love that there's going to be some drama and surprise and intrigue and everything, even if it means that us at Lakers Nation are typing our fingers off trying to keep up with all the different rumors, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you think about it, any other team outside of maybe the Knicks, and you probably got a really, really good idea of where they're going.
Right.
But the Lakers is just insane. It's always like this. And I think it's this, I can't remember who I was talking to the other day, but we're saying that this is the craziest I've seen the news and rumors come out since probably when they were contending for titles. Maybe 2012, with Dwight and Steve Nash, but it's been nuts. It seems like every other hour there's something else brewing, or all of a sudden Jerry West goes to the Clippers or he's agreed to go there. Like, it's just nonstop. I don't know if this is the Magic Johnson effect or it's just things have totally changed in LA. I just don't know, but it's exciting, but it's exhausting for us, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it is. But you are right on the money. I talked to two of my buddies this morning. I actually talked to them, and they the big baseball guys, not so much into NBA. These guys are major hardcore baseball fans, and they were asking about basketball and everything, and they said, man, this whole offseason thing, this is more fun than the regular season. This is more entertaining than the actual NBA finals were. And I said, yeah, kind of. I mean, with all these rumors that are flying around, because they're hearing everything. I mean, so it's not just it's not just us that's hearing this. It's even the casual fans getting wrapped up into all this drama of the NBA offseason. And of all the teams out there, the Lakers certainly have more drama than pretty much anyone else. And that's just part of what makes them the Lakers, right?
Yeah, no doubt. It's a nonstop roller coaster, constant ups and downs, and it's just been kicked into high gear all of a sudden, you know. I mean, hopefully this works out for the best, because if it doesn't, we're going to get that roller coaster all over again with all the negative stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Opposed to all this positive and hypotheticals, and I'm tired just talking about that.
Well, Ryan, certainly appreciate you coming on here and giving your insight into all these different prospects. So you think right now the decision in your mind would go down to either Fox or potentially Ball? Obviously Jackson you didn't get to talk to, but it seems like his name is right in there too. And man, I guess we're just going to be kind of waiting to see when Adam Silver comes up to the podium who that pick ends up being, huh?
Yeah, for sure. I don't think we're going to have any definitive answer before then. I'd be surprised if we did. And even then, you're still going to be like, oh, maybe not. You know, they do something completely different on draft day. Who knows, man? Now,
here's something that this is, I know we gotta get you out of here and everything, but every year, Adrian Wojnarowski of The Vertical tweets out picks like 2 minutes before they're announced, right? It's become like a thing. Except he tends to get stifled on the Lakers. He normally doesn't have that inside info on the Lakers. And now I'm interested. Do you think with the new regime that Woj is going to be able to predict who the Lakers are going to take?
I think we'll just have to see. I mean, this new regime's so new, so young. You know, like they're all inexperienced really in terms of this type of stuff. So. I mean, we're going to need like a year or two to see how it tends to go. But I will say I was shocked when we really didn't know whether it was going to be Okafor or Russell a couple of years ago. Like, I thought, come on, it's coming. Like, like all of us just sitting there waiting for that alert. It says, Woj says, blah, 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 blah. And it just never came. I was like blown away by that.
Yeah, it's amazing how the Lakers have somehow insulated themselves even from the mighty Woj. So we'll see if they're able to pull that off again this year and then surprise us when Adam Silver steps to the podium. Well, Ryan, appreciate your time. Thanks so much for hopping on the show. Definitely have to check in again with you soon.
Yeah, no problem, Trevor.
So that's going to wrap things up for today's show. Big thank you again to my guests, LaVar Ball and Ryan Ward. Be sure to go check out this show on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, the CLNS media app, and of course, LakersNation.com. Till next time, my name's Trevor Lane, and this has been the Lakers Nation Podcast.